Alright, welcome back everyone, it's your boy Evan here, and today we have a GrandGallop deck profile for Cardfight Vanguard 0. So the main image I had with this deck is consistency in what I wanted to do, which is literally beat down your opponent's face with control. So let's just get onto the deck list and I'll explain as we go. So it is a GrandGallop deck profile, so we're running the 4 Gallops. For the grade 3s or trigger wise, we have the 4 heal guards, because heal guard is still a thing. We have the 3 stand trigger Diushas and the 2 Reikas. So why do I run stand triggers over draws? You can see a lot of deck builds running draws or maybe even crits instead, like maybe even like the Persona crit for Gallop that soul charges itself. But I run stands for a reason, and that's to guarantee Laurel. This deck relies on Laurel for consistent aggro. However, if you don't see Laurel until later on, that's okay too. But if you get Laurel on first stride, you're fairly much set up so that you can have a very strong second stride and a fairly chunky hand afterwards. I'll explain that when we get to the strides. For grade 2s, we have the 4 Grand Bulver. Resist is super good. It's probably the easiest burst unit to actually achieve, because once you stride, you just instantly achieve it. And the CC actually does come in often, but only on the first stride does it really come in often, because on first stride your opponent will rarely have double intercept, so you can basically swing with this in CC2. But other than that, the CC is kind of a bonus, but making itself a 13k base helps with decks like Neonectar, because their units can solemnly get to 21k, usually around 19k. 19k is pretty easy to beat into, because 13k with any 7k booster hits into 19. 21k, a little bit hard to get into, but you can make it work with double Volvers. Next for grade 2s, we have 4 Grand Rifter. Grand Rifter is basically like the second main draw card aside from Reika. I say second main because Reika's the only card that will always guarantee a draw, because it sends itself back in the deck and then draws itself. Grand Rifter, if you have a Laurel restand, it won't go off again. So basically, Reika will draw you every Vanguard attack without fail. This one only go on to the first Vanguard attack, which is okay. The Soul Blast cost is kind of meh, but at the same time, it makes itself a 13k base, which is really good again against hitting over intercepts. The power that it gives to the Vanguard is kind of relevant, but we'll talk about that when we get to the stride. So 4 Grand Rifter for draw power and just, I guess, consistent 13k beat sticks. We have the 1 Grand Sub. So this 1-up slot can literally be anything. I just picked Grand Sub because there are still some matchups where I guess you do want to spot retire something in the back row. But even then, running 4 Grand Sub in my opinion is not that good, because you have to basically focus a power up towards Grand Sub and then into the Vanguard. I'll explain more why later I don't run 4 Grand Subs with how it interacts with other units in this deck. But safe to say that the spot retire doesn't really matter for this deck's win image of victory. And lastly, we have 4 Diejets. So, Diejet skill is when placed, return a grade 3 dimensional robot from your drop zone and give your Vanguard plus 4k. And when your Vanguard hits, draw a card. So, a draw card actually does kind of come up sometimes when we get into X Tiger and we have more than 2 damage, because you basically Counterblast 1 for GrandGallop at the end of battle, and then at the end of battle, when it hits, you Counterblast 1 for the skill you get from Diejet. So it does kind of come up actually, but the main reason why we run it is because it sends a D-Robo back, and our D-Robo is a stand trigger, and sending back stands is really good. I used to run 5 grade 3s and 4 Reikas, but Reika's issue is that it's not a grade 3. So aside from, you know, missing Gallop, which you don't really want to miss Gallop to begin with, you really don't want to see 4 Reikas because it's pretty hard to stride, and a 2-card stride does kind of hurt the deck actually, especially because we don't run a lot of draw triggers, and our draw is basically a pseudo draw. With Reika, she basically counts as half a draw in my opinion, because having her in hand is more beneficial than having a grade 3 draw, because you know you can use her to draw at least 1 card and replace yourself in hand. Usually 2, because you'll have 2 Vanguard swings on first stride. Whereas if you just had any old grade 3 draw trigger, you can't really do much with it. I mean, if it's a Diusha, then you can just send it back with, you know, with Diejet, but I'm talking about like the card by itself. So Reika can send itself back and effectively be a +2, a +2 or a net +1. Whereas if you had a Diusha by itself, you can increase your soul, but you won't really add any more to your hand without Diejet. That's why we run 4 Digest, so we can guarantee our stands going back in. And we run the 3 Daishas because it's still a stride fodder that you can use. You can't really use that with Rig because it's a grade 0. Now for the grade 1s, we have Grand Leaf. Grand Leaf is actually really important in this deck because aside from being a 10k booster, it's a PG, you can call that a bounce back 10, and that's super big. Most of the soul costs I actually use in this deck comes from this card because I usually hard call it so that I can have a rear guard. I can make my rear guard column bigger, make it into a 23k sometimes, and that'll just literally win you the game. So what's important to note is that so the wording for this is really weird. It says, if your Vanguard's power 3k, you get a Soul Blast 1 and it gets 2 abilities. It'll return to your hand at a turn. And if your Vanguard's 30k, 35k or greater, this use gets plus 4,000. So what's really weird about this is that, let me just quickly. Yeah, so burst is basically when the power is above a certain amount. However, for this card specifically, when it checks for the power, it can actually be any time. Which is weird because these abilities, when it inherits it, the only condition your Vanguard has to hit 35k for the plus 4k. So sometimes when you have this card and you have your Vanguard attack, and you can't hit the 40k, you actually can. So your Vanguard attack is a base 35k with this unit. So base 35k with a 6k boost, that's 41. Sometimes you can hit the 45k you need for X Gallop, but when you boost it, it actually gains the 4k power, so you can actually hit the 45k number. I found that out when I was testing because, oh, actually, this is not an ability, so it doesn't gain the 4k like the moment you activate its ability. At any point in the turn, if your Vanguard's power becomes 35k or greater, it actually gets the extra 4k. That's really good to know. We have the Lady Skylark. This can actually be anything you want. This can be like this is basically another flex spot in the grade 1s. I run Lady Skylark because giving a unit a resist is actually kind of big, but the issue is it's actually super duper hard to get your Vanguard to over 40k because the moment you with your Forerunner intact, in the main phase, you have to have 2 units that give 4k and your Forerunner to make it bust open 40k. That's actually kind of hard because that means you have to open Volver and Rifter. And you have to have your Forerunner intact, which is, I guess, not that hard. But essentially, that is still something that is not as common as you would think, opening 2 specific grade 2s. And you don't really need the resist half the time. This is more like a win more card than anything, and a situational card. You could argue that, oh, by the way, why don't you run Grand Sub for this reason? It doesn't really solve the issue that you still need 3 units that power up the Vanguard, because, for example, you have a Grand Sub and a Volver. If you use Grand Volver to target Grand Sub and Grand Sub targets the Vanguard, that's effectively the same thing as just using Volver and targeting the Vanguard. You're powering up the rear guard, sure, but it doesn't negate the fact that you need 3 power-ups of 4k on the Vanguard to activate its skill. Because it's an on-place, it's not a battle, it's not any other trigger effect. It's on-place plus 40k. It's actually kind of hard to achieve, but when you do, there are times when you can, i.e., you have 3 cards that give plus 4k, then by all means use it. But it's not really a big deal in this deck for the winning image. It's more of a win more card. It's a flex spot. I do like having the resist occasionally, so that's why I run it. And also, because the resist is actually like the easy part to get. It's the extra 10k that is 40k or greater. 30k or greater is freaking easy to get. But just to confirm, the 40k or greater for the entire skill is really hard to get. So don't use this for the 10k, use it for the resist. But Souls is a very shared commodity that you have to really pick and choose when you want to use. You do have the Yusha, but again, you don't want to always rely on having, if I had that card, I won. No, you have to make sure all your players are consistent to a certain degree. We have the 4 Grand Rope because we need Stride and Search of Gallops. And now, we have 4 Laurel. That's why Laurel. We need 4 Laurel in this deck for the main image of this deck, which we will shortly get into when we hit the Stride Zone. Well, Laurel basically is when your Vanguard attack hits, you restand. Restanding, the point of this deck is to have a restanding Vanguard. And we are basically abusing the fact that in Zero, you cannot pick and choose when you guard, and that's what kind of sucks about Zero, but it's exploitable with specifically GrandGallop. And for Forerunners, we have GrandGallop. Honestly, Grand's probably like the only Forerunner that's actually applicable for most GrandGallop decks because it has sooner resist, so it can't be retired. It can be locked in bottom deck, of course, but I digress. It has the easiest burst alive when you stride. And your rest is you can give any unit plus 4k. So if you run subs, boom. If you need a rearguard to be a little bit more powerful, boom. If you need your Vanguard to be a little bit more powerful, boom. And it CCs and draws and puts itself in the soul. This is like a stacked Forerunner in terms of like the actual, in a vacuum, it's a stacked Forerunner. It basically does 3 things while also having protection in 0. So it's a 4-in-1, which is super good. And now we get into the stride zone. So the stride zone is probably going to change later when the user expands. We just need more flip targets. But first and foremost, we're going to go in order of going backwards in this case, because for explanation purposes. We have the one Harmonics, because Link Joker have found is still an issue. Because sometimes you just can't see revolvers and you just need a way to unlock. Because you can make big beefy columns and against Link Joker, right? Because you have Laurel and you don't have crits, you can still very much restand your Vanguard twice and still push them for their PGs. If they don't have PGs, well, they just lose that at that point. And now, your main first stride, this is the one I've literally sorted into every single game except for one time when I was so far ahead, I decided to stride into X-Rogue. X-Rogue is literally just a flip fodder. This can be anything you want, but on the off chance you are super ahead, as in like you have the nut hand, you can actually use X-Rogue with Laurel if you think you have the hand and you're against a slower deck, that you can body into their Vanguard twice, draw more cards because you're probably gonna plop your hand down for the board, and you can just punch their rear guards. But very far and few in between. Now, run 2 X Tigers, because 2 X Tigers actually does come up. I would definitely suggest if you can get both, get both. So X Tiger skills, and usually attacks the Vanguard, flip any card in your G zone face out, and it gets plus 4k until the end of battle per face card in your G zone. If it is 45k or greater, it gains a crit. So this is not a once per turn. That is very important, because if you, on your first stride, if you swing with this, it hits, it restands, and you swing with it again, you can flip up 2 X Gallops, and you have 2 X Gallops face up, meaning on your second stride, you can have a full effect X Gallop turn with 2 restanding rearguards that both gain 12k power. That's super good. Alright, now why do you run 2? You run 2 because sometimes whether you whiff Laurel or you don't have enough pieces to really go and really maximize X Gallop, you can actually go into X Tiger to just force another PG out of your opponent's hand. Because regardless of even if you get a Laurel restand, when you stride into X Tiger again, you have 3 cards face up because it's a second stride. It'll break the threshold for the crit, and you can just bait out another PG instantly. And baiting up PGs is how you basically win in this deck, and that's the whole point of it. So now, we're just going to go over X Gallop because it's literally like your main finisher. Generation Break 2 Burst, when it's your third 5k greater, counterblast 1, G flip a card, and it gets plus 1 drive, so quad drive. And then when it attacks the Vanguard, keep in mind, but it's not a once per turn. We'll also get to that later. Until the end of battle, draw a card. It's just plus 40k greater. All your front rearguards would get plus 4,000 for every single face-up copy of this card. So a 3 face-up, 12k, really good until the end of turn. If you have 2 or more face up, X Gallop in your G zone, stand one of your rearguards. So you have 3 or more, stand 2. So it's basically like a it's like a Nova Grappler card, but you have beefy side rows and you have a chunky Vanguard. So this actually can push your game super duper hard. So before we kind of get into the image of this deck, so when do you ever use it twice? So if you miss Laurel on your first stride and you have like kind of like a meh X Tiger attack, your opponent should still be at like 4 damage. And because you don't have crits, your Vanguard's probably gonna hit on your second stride. So if you go on X Gallop, and assuming your opponent has 2 intercepts, you can basically go swing with 1 rearguard, swing with another rearguard, swing at Vanguard, activate its skill once. So you only have 1 face up because of X Tiger. When you have 2 face up, you can stand 1 rearguard and give your front row. We're gonna assume we break the 40k, you get your front row plus 8k. Your Vanguard proceeds to hit. Because you have 4 stood units, you can rest all 4, stand the Vanguard, swing again on this second swing. you put all trick because you're still breaking the 40k. You can use it again to flip your third copy, standing both of your side column rear guards, and now your Vanguard will have quad drive again. So you have basically 8 drive checks in one turn. Now you push your opponent to 5, and now both your side columns get plus 20k. So this makes up for their lack of boost, because generally at base they're like 29k with just one power, 33k. And even if they hit a defensive trigger, that's still a heal guard. If they don't, that's a PG for both side columns, and they have to have a PG for your Vanguard too. So that's demanding 3 PGs in one turn, because you have the mechanic of Laurel allowing for this to happen. So because you only have 4 PGs in the deck, it's actually really hard to have. Okay, heal guards can be baited out really early, but the fact that you can bait out 3 PGs in one swing means that if they don't have adequate heal guards, they will just die this turn, because you need 2 heal guards per attack, and that's having 2 is the norm, so they can block 1 attack and a PG for the Vanguard, but they have to have PG or 2 more heal guards out of their hand. And if they do survive this turn, you basically knock 3 out of their 3 shields that they need, and you can kill them next turn. And keep in mind, you're probably drawing from GrandGallop with this skill. If you have Reika, because you also have Reika, you're probably drawing every time, so you have quad drive and you're drawing for every 2 Vanguard attacks, which is super huge. Your main goal on your first stride is to keep your opponent at 1 or 0 damage. Now, why you say 1 or 0 damage? Because X Tiger gains a crit. So, if your opponent's at 1 damage, what you can do is that you can stride X Tiger. You have like a mediocre board, but you have a Laurel. Alright, so what you do to pump your Vanguard so that when it attacks, even with the G-flip, it breaks 45k. Because you can't pick and choose when you guard, because you're probably going to be at a higher damage no matter what, at least 3 or 4, because you keep your opponent at 1, you're just passing turn or whatever. Passing turn in this game is actually not as bad, because when you, unlike in TCG, when you drive it goes to your hand, you don't really lose hand power, because hand power is very subjective to you hitting draws or hitting the cards that you want by drawing naturally on the start of your turn. So it's very subjective. But, so our opponent's at 1 damage, you swing with X Tiger with 2 crit, do your usual drive checks. It goes to 3 damage. Now stand X Tiger and swing again with 2 crits. Now they're at 5 damage. And they're unlikely to heal down because you are at higher damage. And you can basically bypass all defensive triggers at this point. Now, keep in mind, I'm also excluding like how you power it up. With Reika, you draw a card for attack, so your breaker becomes a +2 or a net +1. Next, you have GrandGallop, so you attack twice, so you counterblast 2. You draw 2 more cards. So basically, the reason why I run 5 stands is to maximize the hand limit, while also abusing the fact that GrandGallop can make a situation where you can get a second stride kill, because you can't choose when to guard in this game. And you can maximize your 9 card hand size by abusing the fact that a lot of the strides in this deck are not once per turn. They have to attack the Vanguard, but they're not once per turn. So that means you can draw off your GrandGallop. You can get double crits every attack. You can manipulate the damage zone how you want it to slip into your second stride or even third stride if you have a slower early game. You don't have Laurel. So you can see you have a lot of options. Of course, that being said, it is still a piece reliant deck, but it's a puzzle solving deck in the game, which is really good. For example, your opponent's at 0 damage. You can actually kind of screw with them a little bit, because you can swing with a side. It's very if you have first stride, it's very rare for your opponent to have 2 intercepts. But if they do have 2 intercepts, for example, you can use both your sidelines to basically swing in, and next, assuming you hit a stand, you can hit the Laurel. But if you don't think you're gonna hit a stand, or you don't trust your trigger luck, swing with a rear guard, swing with the Vanguard to the rear, see if you get a stand. If you don't, you can stand the Vanguard. Now you have no open rear. Swing to your opponent for at least 2 crit. Now your opponent's at 2 damage, but you're still at higher damage. And then on your next start turn, you can X Gallop again. You can X Tiger again and keep wailing on them, which is really good. Another thing that I actually did one time, which is actually super funny, was my opponent was at 2 damage, but I chose to underpower my X Tiger on first stride. The reason is because, so he had one intercept, and I had an okay hand, but it was more of a draw hand. Like I had a double Reika and I had a Grand Rifter. So my plan was to call my hand, use Reikas. So usually it's 31k by itself. With double Reikas, it's like 39, and even with the one flip, because my first stride, it won't be 45. Okay, cool. So double Reika, call 2 more units. That's fine. Swing into the rear one, swing into the Vanguard. The first attack, it'll be only be 43. It underswings once. I get to draw 3, 2 from Reika, 1 from Grand Rifter. Boom, hit him with 3 damage. I'm at 3, so he couldn't heal down. What's next is now I draw from Vanguard, so I drew 4 cards right there. So my 2-card hand became a 6-card hand. Now I restand by resting my 4 of the rear guards, plow into his face. On that drive check, because we have 6 drive checks, remember, I healed down to 2 damage. Proceeds to hit another draw, so I went up to 7. And because I still had Recon, I went up to my maximum hand count of 9, and he got punched to 5 damage. And then in that damage check, my opponent got a PG in there. So if he does not heal down during his next turn, he will die, because he needs literally 3 PGs to survive my next turn. Because you can abuse the fact that your opponent cannot guard a certain weight in this game, you can manipulate their damage by basically giving them how much damage you want to give them, which is really good. And this is weird because normally you want to push damage at one point, but you can basically 0 to 5 them with this deck, and it's actually beneficial for you to not swing, because passing turn is a valid option in this deck. But sometimes you can just give them 1 damage, so you're like, alright, swing once, oh, draw trigger, cool, I draw a card, and then keep going. This deck is really, really fun. It's not like a high tier deck because it's not as consistent, but it has the potential to be a really, really good deck with the right palette. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. What you're about to see is like a compilation of gameplay videos from my last few streams. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I stream usually every day, but sometimes I have overtime at work, so I can't stream. But of course, check my Discord. It's where I update everyone of when I'm streaming. Otherwise, you can expect me to stream basically every day or every other day with Cardfight Vanguard 0 content. Okay, we gotta be going first. Interesting. We're gonna keep this. Yeah, man. By the way, if you don't need Dayushas, by the way, you just see a D Robo Grade 3. Dayusha's nice as like an emergency soul thing, but don't feel forced that you need Dayusha. Alright, Fierce Nine tells hello, welcome back, buddy. Yes, yes it is. Thank you, Nash. I hope I can prove it here, but you know, again, I hope I can, but depends. I'm going first, and going first in this deck is kind of pretty meh. I'm not gonna rush the Laurel part of this because I'm gonna probably draw into Laurel soon, but yeah, without Laurel, this deck kind of slows out a little bit, but thank God we're against Claret of all decks, so it's fine. Absolutely fine. I also have 2 of the big GRs. I mean, you mean this one, right? You mean X-Gallop? And 3 calls it here X. You mean X-Tiger, right? Or there's X-Tiger, X-Rock. I'm assuming X-Tiger, right? Ooh, and the main. Interesting. Oh! Woo! Laurel! Alright. Should we drop our Laurel right now? Should we drop... Y'all, should we drop our Laurel? Because I don't think that deck has a way to really retire other than Blaster Dark, and Claret can't really call any retired units. He's gonna go... He can't use Doom, so I think it's okay to call Laurel right now. I'm gonna go like this. I know it's a little risky playing all my cards right now, Actually, we'll do this. We just want maximum drive checks, right? Well, let's go with maximum drive checks. Yeah, let's go with max drive checks then. Heal Toriga. Geto! Heal Toriga! Sugoi desu! Stando Toriga! Okay, it's okay. Sugoi desu! Let's try, I might go to penalty. Oh yeah, honestly that's more of a first stride, emergency first stride honestly, but yeah, it can be a third stride just to kind of push, really get in the fight there's guarding out the crap. Or healing a crap ton. I love the way like Kanzaki goes Koetsu! I was starting 5 crit 4 draw, but there again is where I go second kill 4. Yeah, exactly. I think 5 crit is like honestly for me, crit is okay in Gal, but stands for this deck variant is so important. Because like in this case, it's not because you only have one intercept, but if you have a stand, it makes because there's no you can't really guard in this game, so you can manipulate the damage very well. Doesn't heal though, but I go to 5. Okay, interesting. That's okay. We go up to 5. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. We still have 2 heals left in deck. Sorry, 1 heal. That's okay. So hopefully I get to show you like just why either a full draw deck or in my opinion a draw stand deck can really maximize this deck's potential. So there's a couple things we're actually gonna use this for sure. Give power there. We'll make Vanguard very beefy. Vanguard beefy. Use this. We're gonna draw and hopefully draw to a grade 3 here. Put this into the soul. So we're gonna break the crit threshold, which is actually really important here. I'm gonna use a Soul Blast 1, of course, so we can draw one. So we get to draw out quite a bit right now, and we're gonna call both of our burst PGs. It doesn't matter which line you attack with, really, in this case. It really does not matter, by the way. I'm activating both even though I'm running out of soul here because I want both of them to bounce back in hand. We need 5 rears. So for example, what we're gonna do here is thinking actually. How many times do I have? I have 4 stats. Yeah. We're gonna use X Tiger here to really get the crit going here. Draw one. Okay. Draw another one. Nice. Activate skill. We're gonna flip up here so that we can guarantee a double Vanguard hit. Now hopefully we get our last heal here. We do get our stand. That's actually pretty good in my opinion. So unfortunately when the crit hits, we can't really do much about it, but we can manipulate the damage zone now, so we can rest these 4 units to stand this, and we get to draw 1 from the GrandGallop skill. Now, what's important about this is we still get the CC2. We got our last shield, which is really fantastic. Now we bait out a shield here, which is pretty big. And if you get another stand trigger, it'll like if it's grade 3, like the Yusha, we can send it back. I just kind of want one more trigger here. Okay, no trigger, that's okay. But we just bait out a PG really easily here. And draw another card. Go into the stride. We just did an attack for the sake of it. If I got one more trigger, this would have been broken it, but it's okay. It's not a big deal right now. And now we have full hand. Neutral decks, yo, save. Hey, Altail, welcome back. We have enough power for next turn, which is actually really important. Kandangado. Hopefully I draw into a Dayusha next turn though. I'm really hoping for Dayusha here. Either Dayusha or even the GrandGallop actually would help pretty heavily here, you know. That's okay. Actually, oh no, we're good. Let's rewrite here. We're gonna use these two though. Actually, I want to use these two. I want to use these two. That was the reason why I did that. And I'll show you right now. GrandGallop, that's actually really good. So what we can do here, he drone check a couple PGs already, and he's gonna need PGs to really survive this turn. So we're gonna declare final turn here. We're gonna 100% declare final turn here, and I'll explain why as we kind of go along here, or how we can even declare this. No. So this is actually the kind of one of the ideals. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Well, good. This will actually break 40k, which is all we need to get all of the. Just to show you 40k. So we're gonna do our usual thing here. He probably doesn't know this, but this is actually the crack hand. So now we G-flip one, give 12k to both our rear guards, power them up, stand both. Now we get power to silence. This is we're gonna require 3 PGs. We're gonna give equal distributed power here. That's okay. Size don't matter anymore. We just need power. Oh, actually, I actually kind of messed up here. It's okay. No, actually, no. That was actually me. I kind of messed. I forgot. You have to give power to the Vanguards. It breaks 40k. I kept putting on riggers out of sheer habit. Yeah. If I did that, we would have won. But it's okay. Sorry, I kept doing that out of sheer habit, just to kind of keep going rear. Sorry, I kept doing a sheer habit, and I was like distracted with something on my phone. I was looking at an app. And I don't know what to get. What do you mean, like, out of all the Nova options, you don't really know what to get from them? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. You can go X. We'll go X Tiger again. We have a 6-card jet deck, and we can still draw into Die Jet. If we get Die Jet, that's actually gonna be kind of huge. Ooh. Actually, this is the last turn anyway too, so it makes sense why he's doing this. Unfortunately, I would love to use my 2 heal guards first against the first attack. Thank God this is only until the end of battle. Oh, we live. Cool, we live. That becomes only 26k. Okay, it becomes only 31k. And we have 41. He literally can't break through my shield now. Nice. What do you mean stop? What am I doing, bro? Oh, die jet! Die jet! That's disgusting, baby! Come here! Go back into the deck, Dayusha. Stand up, let's go! Booyah! Connect! Justice is served. Bam, 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 bam. Ooh, I love the every deck that I finally tuned is responding today. It's so good. From DIs to golds to shadows to fucking Gallop. Oh, fucking fucking amazing. Ah, amazing. There's other decks I really like to play. So if I was to make like a deck tier list for what decks I play right now, this is obviously top tier. Surprisingly, this is second tier. And then dark, I like gold slightly over darks because of the current way they are. Then Grand Blue, I do love the Claret itself, but playing it is a bit of a headache sometimes, so it's like kind of in the 5th spot right now. You could easily, like, with the new sword, it could actually go up to here, but right now I kind of enjoy doing it like this, and everything else is kind of supplementary to it. There's like this, like my top 5, top 3 is like right here, y'all. Should I do that? You know what? Let's do one more Gallop. I'm really liking Gallop right now. Going first again, going first. This deck is absolutely ass. But is it? Wait. Stand up. Vanguard. Okay, that was an actual dungery deck for a hot second. Like, what the fuck? Like, what am I fighting? You're gonna go fairly aggro. Call this swing. It's gonna get them up in damage there. And maybe we should go aggro or not, but we'll see. We can still bash your skulls in, so that's okay. Ooh, that you shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, laser shield. Yes. Let's see. Oh, Risers? Okay, sorry, Dragon, I just read your message. Honestly, Risers is by far my most favorite art sub-clan. If for Nova Gopper specifically. I love Risers. Because, man, they're like little mechas, bro. Who doesn't love little mecha? I mean, that's why I like GrandGallop, because it's like a lot of mechas, but the aesthetic is so good. Though I wish in terms of like GrandGallop, well, one, I wish the GrandGallop animation was a ton better, but I also wish it kind of, I know what they were going for with like more like chess pieces. Like GrandGallop is the king. I think Grand Bulver has more a bit of a rookie feel to it. What else? Did they have a chess team here going? Grand Sub. Like, Grand Rifter is just a cowboy, really. Like, that's more like a kingly thing, right? But you know, I do like how it is. I can't say Miwa's sub voice. Honestly, if you've been accustomed to something in quote unquote dubbed, it's kind of hard to do it vice versa. But I'll say this right now. That in my opinion, at least, for the most part, when it comes to most animes, the sub is definitely superior to the dub. And that's because of a lot of factors, I understand that, but inherently it's just more genuine and more raw coming from the original actor of the original, I'd say, nationality of that creation. This really applies to everything, really, because like even if you like, for example, like Arcane, like the League of Legends video, I can't watch that sub for my life. It's way better dubbed. Or I guess it's not even dubbed. It's actually like it is what it is. We're gonna X Tiger here. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't get anything. Unfortunately, like, we didn't get Laurel, so that's a little unfortunate, but you know. A double Volver though, which is actually kind of huge. So okay, we're gonna go with a double Volver play. So this is a play that you can actually do. This double Volver is actually kind of interesting because we can actually force him here. Now we also break the threshold. We're actually gonna move this Volver down to do this. So this is the Volver play. Use the PG to smack his rear. Use this Volver to hit the van. The CC2. Proceed to do this. And yeet him to 4. If we can just get a Laurel, that'll be fantastic. Nope, not Laurel, that's okay. And we got our PG back. Hello! Yeah, that was the Volver play that I like to do sometimes. If you have double Volver, I think even one Volver is really enough, but you know. I think one Volver will make this 35k so that this can get the extra 5k. So I think, yeah, I think one Volver is, oh, you don't even need a Volver, but you want the CC to happen, so you just open it up. Oh, I still don't have anything. You know what? We're still gonna go into Gallop here. So here's the thing though. I'm gonna use the Stride Fodder first. And hopeful. I'm really trying my best to get a Laurel here actually. So I have 2 draws. Jet. Okay. Gonna punch this up. Give power to Vanguard. 1 stand's okay here really, but I really want to just get stuff going here. Put this in the soul. Oh shit! I forgot. I already maxed in hand. It's okay. The Vanguard's gonna hit no matter what in this case, right? But I am gonna hard dig for a Laurel for next turn. So we easily break the threshold. We're gonna keep the 1 Jet. We're actually gonna sack this Jet. The reason why we sack the Jet is so that we can avoid having a front row bind. And then yeah, I think that's about it. I will use this though, so I can shove in the soul and add an external card. This is for next turn really, it's just kind of better if I do it now. You have a lot of power-ups next turn still, so it's okay. Stun trigger. Wow. Has Laurel? Don't invoke, yeah, there's no point. Oh no, my PG! Oh, it's okay. We're gonna survive next turn anyway. I didn't expect to hit a draw trigger, to be honest. Oh no, sorry. I didn't expect to draw that much, I mean. So we want to do Laurel as a contingency. If he heals down, we have a way to... Oh. I was destroying. Oh, must suck. Stand. Oh, my PGs. Shoving it Ayusha back. It broke the threshold. Can you handle this many attacks though? He has 4 PG, so he might be able to actually. PG again? Yeah, he had 3 PG, so that's probably why he didn't stride last turn. I think I'm still gonna live no matter what. What's my bind? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna live. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what we get though. Hmm. That's okay. So it's like what? Plus 12 gives a front row? Yeah, just 12k. And everything is a priority back or retire, so I'm 100% okay with this. Loses intercept. Okay. Well, that's fine though. If he rips double triggers, which is very unlikely, if he rips his last two. Ooh. Oh, that's his last trigger. Never mind. We're good. I was if he rips against his last trigger. Bonk. Bonk. Aye. Justice Sword! Oh! Yes! Die to Dayusha! Oh, it's gotta be him in his last speech. He was there. Yeah. Yes, die to my Dayusha. Charging and rubber. Dayusha! Oh shit, I picked DP by accident. I'm sorry. I picked DP by absolute muscle memory. I wasn't even looking. Oh well. If we lose this, we lose this, but oops. Bushido! That's kind of a nut hand! Sheesh! I didn't mean to pick I didn't mean to pick on top. So because I moved the selection, I thought DI was in the second slot. I straight forgot. But for real though, sheesh, that's kind of a nut hand, bro. Oh no! Oh hell no! I'm about to drill this man. What the hell is that? What the hell is this deck? Wait, how does this? So this is basically a giveaway card. Like that, so you know your opponent has a great piece that happens. I don't understand the purpose of that card. Oh, but we have this now. Ha! Even if he heals down, it's okay. If he heals down, we break the crit threshold. If he doesn't, we hit him once and break the crit threshold in the second attack. That's why I actually like this animation. Right, do the Vanguard. Sauce animation. Okay, Evolver. Oh, brother, that's fantastic, bro. All right. X-Tiger? X-Tiger gets the double hit. Fucking miss, bro. We're gonna double rank here actually, so we're actually gonna break the crit threshold here. I think it's better actually to break the crit threshold rather than not. And I'll show you why it's actually a bit beneficial. So we can either Underswing. We're not gonna underswing, but the reason is so that we can force out a shield super early. It's like the same amount of draws and nothing's gonna change here, but we're gonna absolutely force a crit. Just in case, it doesn't matter what we do anyway. I'm gonna quit all Vanguard. Heal Trigger. Now if he heals down, it'll still push him to 5. Did he heal down? That's okay. Uses the draw. Stando! Still got 2 draws here. Moichido! Yeah, we instantly get the PG out right now. And even if he heals down next turn, we have a way so we can actually manipulate that damage again. A break rate doesn't really matter in this case because of how much power up he will get. But it is still good to know that he will have break right up. And he's not. Oh, he's just going for the... Oh, it's saucy. I like this. Limit to break. Wow, I'm getting rebirth. I never thought I would see this in a hot second. There's the heal. I'm getting a rebirth for real here. Holy shit. Hey Rena! Hi, nice to see you. Hey, first time chatting here. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. But yeah, I haven't seen a rebirth in a hot minute. I was here for like the Link Joker era, but oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you so much. I'm very surprised I'm getting a rebirth right now. I'm very surprised. It is a very incomplete deck for one, but I feel kind of proud I'm getting rebirth here. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I will give you the ultimate honor. We're gonna need the soul anyway. I'll give this man the ultimate send-off here, guys. Now, what do you mean by ultimate send-off? You're about to find out. Yeah, this man's about to get the ultimate send-off here. Makes sense, yeah. Oh, fucking fantastic, bro. That would make a lot of sense too, yeah. Yo, this man's about to get clapped with the ultimate send-off. There was a Vanguardにアタックスキル発動スキル発動 Kind of redundant, but okay. Connected. Oh! He healed! He healed! Sir, I salute you to the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, I salute you! Feel the full power of Gallop! Ah! Stando Trigger! Heal Trigger! Ha! If he healed again, I was prepared to gallop one more time out of respect. I'm like, okay, healed again, gallop once more. I was so prepared to do it out of respect. Okay. That's not bad. We're going second PogChamp. Oh, that kind of day. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we're all set to go. As long as we have Laura, we're good.
Stand up. Vanguard.
And we can start. It's actually a really good game right now. I'm not focusing on hitting Legend 20, to be honest. I don't really care about Vanquisher a lot, to be honest. Dijet, Laurel. Ooh, okay. Okay. I might keep a Lady Skylark because there's no way for me to retire my back row. So we'll keep Lady Skylark just in case that, you know, he survives our kill turn. We can give our front row unit resist. Giving front unit resist might help against his spirit. So it doesn't really matter what you ride here because I had double Laurel, but you know.
Vanguardにアタックチェックゲットドロートリガー
Okay.
ダメージチェック Vanguardにアタック
Wait.
ダメージチェック
Nez, what deck are you using, by the way? When you say meta bad, like I'm also like that's very subjective, but okay.
アタックドライブチェック
Let's go swing at the rear so that he loses more rear guard presence.
スタンド&ドロー僕の情熱は君の剣と共に
If he puts double intercept, you might be in trouble just a little bit. Insane top 500. Oh, I see, I see.
ヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェッ
We
ク
get to hit his face so much, yes!
ダメージチェック
Heal trigger! Yeah, I guess Diablo right now doesn't have a lot of like good gas. That's about it. Oh. This man's about to feel pain. This man is gonna feel pain right now, bro.
スキル発動いけいけ任せたスキル発動 スキル発動
Alright. The last thing we really gotta do here is it's like we just have to call a unit, unfortunately. We're gonna keep Dijet, or we're gonna call Grand Rifter. I wanna call Lady Skylark actually? Yeah, we'll call Lady Skylark just so we have another rest target, and now we can battle. So this good thing here is that we can swing into here,
ダメージチェック
get the CC. And now, because of the way it works, we can underswing once. Underswinging once here is good because we push up to 3, then we crack him to 5.
ファーストチェックセカンドチェック
So I had to
サ
check
ード
him.
チェック
That's okay.
ダメージチェック
Now we Laurel here, rest it, activate skill to draw a card. And it's where we just crack his back.
ファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェック
That's okay if we don't hit triggers by them. We can hit them defensively. Crack his back all the way there, bro. Let's go! Oh, that's kind of nasty. It is an okay hand, honestly. But we can still do stuff next turn with this. In Claret, I feel if I like it, something witches. That's like okay. Have you been facing a lot of like Overlord and not Overlord, but like Kagura and stuff? Cause yeah, like this is like the unforgiving meta for like non-Revenger Shadow decks. Damn, he has a crap hand.
ジェネレーションブレイク。スペリオルコール。スキル発動。いけ。アタック。ヴァンガードにアタック。ダメージチェック。
That's okay.
ヴァンガードにアタック。ファーストチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。セカンドチェックゲット。ドロートリガー。サードチェック。ダメージチェック。スキル発動。スペリオルコール。
Nice.
アタック。
Okay, bro, it's his funeral. Does he want to end his life that badly? Alright, well, we're gonna go into this for sure. We don't have a... Oh, we'll get rid of Dijet, because in this specific situation, Dijet has literally no use. Where's it going wrong? I would see Vanquisher! Yeah. It's also a headache trying to face Vanquisher with a deck that you are semi-drop zone reliant. Oh, daddy. Okay, we're gonna try to be greedy here, and we're actually gonna do this. We're gonna be greedy here. So now our deck RNG is now 100% reset. So now we have double that. We can go like this. Stand. Stand. Okay. I'm actually gonna give power to Vanguard and draw a card here. Okay, that's actually good. So now we're one card deeper. $40,000, perfect. Bast! So we're gonna be a bit greedy here because we still have 4 stands left in deck. We're gonna be a little bit greedy here. Actually, it doesn't matter what we do. We're actually still gonna get maximum power here anyway, so it's okay. Because he still needs 3 PGs for this to really... Oh, in that case then, if it doesn't matter what we do really, right? We'll get... No, it doesn't matter what we do. Because I was gonna say, should we fetch more triggers? In this case, it doesn't even matter, so it's okay. Yeah. I'm actually gonna do this just in case he survives this turn. I know this kind of sucks for us in terms of like everything, but it's okay. Yeah. We did that on purpose, by the way, so that we can just... Yeah. Boom! We did that on purpose. I'm like, I'm gonna hit on a stand but if he has 3 PGs, it's already like we're not even gonna punch through. So it's more of like a contingency plan. That was more like a nice sauce on top that we managed to get final turn. That was a nice little sauce on top. Nice legend. Oh, we actually got. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Alright, let's try again. I feel like right now, for me, if I use Revengers, I'm probably just gonna have a headache too. But yeah, when I think about it too, whenever I'm using Revengers, I basically have default to Spectral, or just like hard greed all my grade 3 crits, and just like hard call them during the next turn. Wow, another Royals. Okay. Another going second turn. Alrighty. Can we get Laurel this game though? Do we get Laurel? We do not get Laurel, so I'm gonna send these 2. We're just gonna keep these 2 so we get a good ride target engine going. Ooh, but we get all revolvers though. That's not bad. We get all revolvers. That's not bad at all. Oh, but I'm seeing Lady Skylark so much, and she's my one of. Ooh, Actually, it's not bad. So if we draw Dijet, we can actually like use Dayusha then. So that's pretty good. Oh, there's Laurel. That's okay. We still have 3 other Laurels right now. What's good now is that we can literally ride then stride with this, and if we get a Dijet, we'll just send it back. Also, my Claret deck isn't complete because they need 2 more Organs. Oh, you don't have any. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. Yeah. Honestly, like, I feel that's why a lot of your decks are probably losing steam too. Because unfortunately, Orgazer is the literal only first stride for the deck. I think for this is debatable now. You know what? We're gonna stick with the plan, and just like oh wow, I'm just missing Laurel by a card now. Okay, we're gonna go with the plan and just like underswing. So usually I don't want to give this deck a lot of damage to begin with, and for him okay, good. He put double intercepts down. Okay, it's calling his hand. That's actually not bad for us. Like I know we're gonna get pushed here, but that's fine. Okay, 1 heal out of his deck. That's really good. Okay, so 3 cards out of the deck. Can we get our last Laurel here though? Hey, let's go! Woo! Let's go! Hell yes! Let's go. X Tiger time. Ooh, we can get a Grand Rift here. Oh! That's pretty good. Alright. We're gonna put into the soul so we can draw. Oh, we even got Reika. That's really good actually. So now we can go like this because we would have drawn a stand trigger, so we're gonna use a Reika for sure. Break the threshold. And now we're just gonna call. Just in case we get another stand, I'm gonna call it here. Burst. Okay, we are setting ourselves up so hard right now, which is so fucking amazing. If we don't get a stand here, I'm honestly okay with that because we're gonna draw 2 cards. We're gonna go up to 4 cards anyway from this. But if we get a stand here, that's the absolute magnifique. So draw a card, draw another card, get another blank unit. Okay, stand. That's okay. You only get triple drive here, but you know we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, Laurel. I'm gonna just in case, I'll get power to the side here. Wow. Okay, it's fine. No stand. That's okay. We ping up 2 damage. And now we get our PG back. Surprisingly, we didn't get Dijet yet, which is weird, but okay. I don't think he can kill me next turn, but we'll see. That deck has a lot of push, so it really depends. Okay, we have to be very creative of how we do our next turn, though. We have to be very creative, or else we just die. All right, let's see what Altmile does here. Because I made this board specifically so that it's suboptimal for him to use Spirit. I could have concentrated with the other Volver, but I'm like, it's okay. It's a heal that's not active, which is really good. Oh, that's actually massive. He doesn't get the call anymore. Oh, that's massive. Okay. We're gonna use this. That's actually fucking massive that he got that crit. Okay, so here's a big thing though, is that Okay, so here's something that's kind of big though. We're gonna have to call over a Laurel here, but it doesn't matter. I'll explain in a minute why I'm doing this. So, with this specific like lightning combo, we can actually break. Oh, I see. All I have a shout card. That makes sense. So there's a reason why we're doing this, and I'll explain this later. So our Laurel's gonna connect, but the main thing why we're doing this, right, is so we can hit burst. So we can only stand one unit with this GrandGallop attack, but it will break 40k with this. We broke 40k because of the stupid interaction, the way the burst unit works a Grand Leaf. So draw a card, and we're gonna stand our side column. That's a heal. That's okay. I hope that we get a stand here, but if not, I'll give all power. You know what? I'll give power to Vanguard. Yes! We're good! We're good! We're good! Power to Vanguard. Stand up! Huh! Bast! This is where we flip up our last one. Now we give 12k to our front row. Boom! And stand both. Now we hit a precision key to draw a stand trigger. One more time, stand trigger! I'm okay with that actually. Hey! But yeah! Boom! No, I'm not doing that again. What's up, bitch? Booyah! Delicious. Delicious. Okay. It's a very weird deck right now, but okay, I think we'll be fine. Hell yeah. Oh no. Oh no, Grand Sub. There's Gallop. He the 20 guy, let's go. Boop. Next, he's like, why are you hitting my rears? That's okay. Evolver. Ooh, die jet. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nice. All right. Let's see where this hand takes us. I think it's actually not a bad hand. Just the only thing is that we have like, I don't know. We just want to randomly call Dijet. Diablo. Skill. That is an odd place kind of called called good one. Yeah. Skill. Get Swordbreaker. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. That works too. I was expecting a sword breaker there, but that works too. Wait till y'all get Carnivore Dragon, your best non-counter blast stride. I'm going to get Carnivore Dragon for Shadows. Good recalls one, right? Yeah, one or less. Though I don't know why you would call it grade 0 unless it's, I guess you can call it Disco Deck. Ow. Draw trigger. Okay, one heal down, okay. I mean, we can just call the Dark Saga. Yep, Dark Saga. Okay. Fair enough, Illumination. That's a valid point. Okay. We only have one choice, and that's X Tiger, so. Okay. Okay. Thinking. Yeah, we'll use this. Okay, I have an idea now then. Power! This is a little bit risky because I have to basically bank on one of my 5 stands in deck. But I feel ballsy today. This gets a crit. We got the stand, we're good. Use this to draw, and then use Digest. We got 2 gals face up, and her hand goes up to 8, I think? Instantly equalize the game. Now I get to draw 2 more cards. And we get our PG back. Boop. Nice. Yeah, that's the only caveat with this deck, because if you don't hit a stand, your turn's kind of meh at best. But even then, this deck kind of sucks going first to begin with. Yeah, it does have a lot more room to recover if you do just literally only hit a stand. No, that was a pretty risky bet for me though, because my deck was already pretty set to hit me a stand, but I chose to call the Yusha and Digest so that I can get one more stand. And technically, I would have been even better to be set up into a stand trigger than I was before. But yeah, I wanted as much stands in my deck as possible. Is that the 13k booty? That is a 13k booty. Sack 3. Makes sense. RPG down. To all. Yikes. Yep, that's unfortunate. I think this is the actually. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna bet it here. I still have gallops in the deck. I have one gallop in the deck and one Dayusha. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Burst. It's gonna break 41k no matter what, so it's okay. Burst. This will give us 12k to the front row, and then we're gonna restand both. Hit a stand trigger here. Okay, there you go. Oh, do you have 2 heal guards? You do have 2 heal guards! Impressive! Okay! Have 2 heal guards? You have 2 heal guards. Impressive! Very, very impressive. That's why I was like, oh, I saw 2 people. Well, you can stride no matter what, basically. I mean, check. Oh, I have double resist now, so Doomed would not be even a good play here. Yeah, that's like an awkward play because I have double resist, but I also don't have CB, so that's also mad awkward. Spectral? Oh yeah. Because you can call this, use a sack, and call it the front row. Yeah. Spectral. Spectral's a good call. Spectral's a good call. Oh, you drew the heal though. Oh, it's so unfortunate. I get to sack that, but you get to call Greed 2, which is Dark Saga. Oh, Dark Saga's draw. Yeah, it's just kind of awkward, because I guess that one was just more like, oh, did you draw a? Yeah, like, did you draw a non-Grade 0 unit? Then you can call Punch to both my intercepts. I also made, yeah, that was a risk for me because oh. Oh yeah, you shuffled the deck, right. I guess, yeah. This can be literally anything, unfortunately, but this is more like the only thing that I can get with an additional crit. Dayusha. Oh shit, that's a 10k. Fuck, I'm sorry, that's a 10k. I have never used. I keep forgetting Dayusha's a 10k. Monka S. 100%. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So those are the match videos, and I hope you enjoy this and you kind of see the power and utility of this deck. And I hope you enjoy this deck as much as I did trying to figure it out. Of course, you can still improve this deck and make it your own, but this is the build that I'm gonna run with for quite a while. The only thing I'm probably gonna change is maybe like the Reika to Dayusha ratios if I kind of feel like it, but 5 stands all the way. Anyway guys, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more content, and I hope to catch you all on my stream, twitch.tv/CrytekSE. Thank you so much and have a wonderful one. See ya.